Byron Plus Global is a scam. Don't trust them. Don't put your money into it. They have all sorts of sophisticated software to make it look like you're earning money. The totals are rising. The charts are kind of connected to proper shares and trades, etc. From what I can see. But you cannot get your money out ultimately. So here's what happened to me. Originally, I invested about £200. I thought it was safe just to try £200 on something a bit different for me, a little bit risky, of course. Basically, there was an advert with a celebrity saying, hey, you can make a load of money. And apparently that had been cut from some TV program and some interview. So because it was so radical that banks didn't like it. That raised my interest. And I thought, wow, this sounds great. I'll put 200 quid in it. Straight away, I get lots of phone calls from representatives of Byron Plus Global. First of all, Tommy, he's buddying up with me, trying to tell me how it's all going to work, how it's going to benefit me, and suggesting if I put more money in, it will benefit even more. Within a couple of weeks, I'd raised, my total had raised to something like 500 quid from 200 quid. So I could see that there was rapid returns, and I was being pestered to put a bit more money in. I didn't want to do that. I said I want to take my £200 original investment out. I was just seeing if I could actually get money out of this, before I even considered putting any more in. And we set up a Transact wallet. When you're trading in crypto and that kind of stuff, you need a wallet to transfer it or swap it from crypto to whatever. So that's how you do it. We did it with a Transact thing. We set up that wallet. We put the money in from Byron, a couple of £100, and I withdrew it out, and it was in my bank account. And at this point, I'm thinking, okay, I can get money out. Shall I just walk away from this? Or shall I just put the money back in and go back with my original risk and re-add it to that total, which is now 400, and just see where it goes? So I did decide to put the money back in. Obviously, I regret that now, but you know what? I was still no further, or I hadn't made any more losses than I was originally planning or happy to gamble, if you like, I'm not a gambling person. As I say, I don't do anything like this normally. A bit risky for me, but I just felt at a point in my life where I could afford to try 200 quid. Anyway, so then Tommy's like, you need to put more money in. This is just going to be so much better for you. It's your choice, of course. It's my choice. He wasn't pushing me. He was just suggesting that I would make a lot more money. I still wasn't buying. So he said, I'll tell you what, I'll put £15,000 from our side, Byron Plus Global, into your account, and then you see how well it does. And of course, they were making money. The 15 grand suddenly raised to over 20 grand. And he's kind of coming back to me going, if you put £10,000 in, they would leave in the sum total of the money that they'd added as a gesture of goodwill and a partnership with me long term. And I'm thinking, no, that doesn't sound right. I don't want to put 10 grand in. It's way too much. So we negotiated, and I said, look, what if I put 2 grand in? Will you leave some of that in as a gesture of goodwill and raise the account? If you do that, I might put 2 grand in. I put 2,000 English UK in pounds, and they added 6,000 US dollars to it. And by the time all that had landed, there was something like $9,000 in my account. Okay, so that felt like risky. I was skeptical about it. I'd gone beyond what I'd originally intended. So, trades continued. The total kept going up. The phone calls kept coming in. And there's advice about the market, which I didn't really ask for. And it's interrupted my working day. I work for myself and I'm getting all these phone calls. And Tommy's giving me some new amazing advice. And then there's a few deals I could take part in. Wow, if I accepted this trading account from someone else which had 30,000 US dollars in it, they could pass that over to me if I put another 5,000 in. And the more this kind of happened, the more it felt like a scam. But you know what? I said no to all of that. No. And eventually Tommy said, I can't work with you anymore. We need more money in your account. For me, I'll put you onto another rep. So then I got Andy, and then Andy's talking to me about just investing in Bitcoin. It's safer, smaller investments, but it was still growing. My account was growing, and of course, same kind of format. Hey, if you make this investment now, if you give us another bit more money, and this will, and conversations about why I don't want to invest more money. So I'm telling them straight, I don't trust it really. I'm just playing with it a little bit. I've put $2,000 in. That's more than I wanted to put in. I'm not putting any more in, not at least for another year. And he's like, that's okay. It's my choice, of course. And then there's another deal a week later, and just the phone calls and the pestering and the conversations. And I was thinking to myself, why am I doing this? It's so taking up so much of my brain space, so much of my week, with interrupted phone calls and conversations about it. And then I'm starting to go to bed at night thinking, I made a mistake. This is feeling more and more scammy the more they pester me. And I'm wishing I'd never put that $2,000 in there now, but I've probably lost it. I want to end these phone calls. I'm really not bothered about making a lot of money. This is just boring me now and starting to piss me off a bit. I'll get my money out. So I decided, this is like, I've originally invested in July, and I decided I wanted my money out beginning of November. The balance at this point was about $16,400. And I thought, come on, let's just get the money and run, get out of here. I can't be bothered with the phone calls. If I get that money, it's still a decent profit. Let's get the money out. That's where it gets interesting. Then I was called by someone called Andrew, who was saying to me that that's great. He's here to help me close the account. Except the thing is, I have to give them £1,000 to transfer. And this time we changed the wallet from Transact to a wallet called Uphold. I'm sure Uphold is okay. It's a crypto exchange wallet thing. It's in my name, it's my account, and he wanted me to put £1,000 in my account first and foremost. And so we could send it to Byron Plus Global. Now, at this point, I'm getting really skeptical. I'm thinking, I don't want to give you another £1,000, but I do want my money back. And so I stand to lose £2,000, potentially £3,000 by the time I've put this extra money in. But I stand to gain $16,000 US, or obviously take my profit out of that, works out about 12,000 UK, £12,000. It's still a significant win, and it was a bit of a gamble I'd taken. I'm thinking, if I get this money out, I've got to pay £1,000, or I have to right now, say goodbye to the £2,000. And I couldn't quite bring myself to say goodbye to the £2,000. I was caught up in this desire to get my money out and walk away from it, and I was convinced to put an extra £1,000 in there. The excuse I was given, I'm going to actually take an extract from the telephone call with Andrew, with him explaining to me why I needed to add the extra £1,000. I'm transferring £1,000 to Byron Plus Global via MetaMask in order to connect the accounts. Is that correct?
Exactly.
Yeah. But what confuses me about that is previously when I made withdrawals from Byron, just, the odd small bit here and there, I just put a wallet address in.
Yes.
Yeah. Why can't we just do that and put a small amount from Byron in to Uphold?
Okay, because when you are using a small amount to transfer, there is no need for security measurements. But when you're liquidating an amount that is larger than $2,000,
okay,
this is the requirement for the security.
Okay, I've got an idea.
There will be some breaches in the networks.
Yeah.
And this is something that is mandatory.
I have an idea then. If you said it's amounts more than 2,000, can I withdraw 2,000 from my account then, please?
You can withdraw 2,000, but if you will try to do 2,000 until you reach your maximum, then most likely your Uphold will be blocked, and you will not be able to withdraw the rest of the amount.
How about this? What if we draw one lot of 2,000?
Sorry?
What if we withdraw one amount of 2,000 and then continue with what we're doing? So for the time being, everything's blocked.
We put already the request on that one, so at this moment we just waiting for that to be released.
Yeah, because
we closed the trade on our side, and you've been creating some sort of, it's called a signal to release the full amount, because you've made it 1/10 up price, and it's just standing on pending also on our side. So for the time being, I'm not able and I'm not allowed to touch your money here and, split some of that amount.
Yeah, so let's look at my account on Byron Plus at the moment, because I can't see anything saying it's pending here. If I just look at my dashboard, it says total balance is 16,491, and there's nothing saying that the account is pending. It just looks exactly as it did before.
Yes, of course, it will be looking like that up until it will be confirmed.
Yeah, okay.
Something pending on our side, you just send a signal to the wallet. Right now, what you have in Byron, it's being held in a wallet, okay?
Yeah.
This is how we are securing every client's funds in the most secured way, that nobody will have access to them.
Yeah.
Okay, because we also are a large company, and we cannot monitor 250 workers. So this is one of the security measurements that the insurance company are basically forcing us to use. It's cost us a lot of money. Each and every wallet like that costs around $150, and each and every client of us possess one wallet like that. If it's for $2,000, if it's for $2 million, you are holding that money in a wallet. That's the security measurement. So we right now been starting the process. Just want to be clear, as I told you yesterday, clarity and transparency is something that I truly believe in. Even though some people do not have the knowledge and don't really know what I'm saying, I will still say it, because I don't want to be missing some parts, and then you will say to me that I didn't say that. The funds right now, it's on uphold, okay? And just waiting to be released from uphold. That's the situation. I just want you to understand and see that in front of you, okay? So open your email.
It hasn't come in yet. Let's just do a quick refresh. Oh, here we go. So where's that from?
This is you can right now open your uphold and see the transaction that you've made yesterday, and you will confirm to the Bitcoin address, which starts with the number 15IH and ends up with R1T.
Okay, well, I can see that there's an account there, and that my money is going to somebody's account or something. I suppose from my perspective, obviously with this kind of process, it seems very convoluted and new to me. And as I say, then I had problems with I know it's not your fault, but the software we were using. And it's just like, to get my money out of my account, I'm putting another £1,000 in, which at the moment has disappeared. And when it lands in that account, okay, let's see what happens then, shall we? Let's just wait for that, because I can't do anything at the moment. And overnight, as I'm sitting with all this, I'm thinking, right, I'm a sucker. I've lost the other £1,000 now. That is so bad. I'm going to actually cancel the uphold transfer. Got to my computer in the morning, and it had gone through to Byron Plus Global. So Andrew and I had a conversation on the phone after the money had landed. He said to me,
yes, right now, as far as I can see, the reason for the transaction not being processed, it's the same thing that happened with uphold. Now, let me explain it to you. Some further researches I've done about this problem that we encountered. It's something that actually I was supposed to be aware of, because it happened along the time of my career dealing with cryptocurrency. Happened a couple of times. One of the reasons I wanted you to consider that like a network overload. Okay? Mm-hmm. Because right now, at this present moment that me and you are speaking, the volume into the crypto market has been surged up in more than 180%. Meaning there is an overload on the network. So certain, most of the transactions that being conducted using the network of crypto are being delayed. Okay? Can you understand that?
I understand that, yeah. What I don't... it's a shame, but I see that the balance on my Byron is still saying the balance is the same. So If that had been
Yes,
transferred, wouldn't it?
because right now it's standing on processing. Because right now,
Okay.
as I said, what happened with Uphold Hop? You remember how much time it took? It
Yeah.
took around 60 hours.
Okay. Well, I got no explanation from Uphold, so I wasn't
No,
aware.
no, it's
Yeah.
okay. I'm explaining you. What
Okay.
happened with Uphold? It was a network overload.
Okay.
Not on Uphold. It was on the crypto network. It's just like right now,
Oh.
your network provider will be suffering some major overload problems.
Okay.
Imagine right now, all the people in the United Kingdom
Yeah.
will go right now as we're speaking and using the network, the
Oh, yeah,
internet network.
I hear.
You will not be able to upload even Google.
I get it. So what we're saying is that it's due to an overload. It will eventually be processed. So we just have to sit tight and wait for that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because right now, I want you to understand. I see your personal wallet. It's the physical device. It's called a cold wallet. That we're storing all the funds that I explained you in order to prevent any kind of security breaches and things like that.
So again, now I'm sitting on this for a whole weekend thinking, number one, I've been scammed. I don't know if I've been scammed, but I'm pretty sure I've been scammed. And the longer this goes on, the longer I'm waiting for that money, the more I'm thinking it's not going to happen. It became clear to me after I put the $2,000 in that I'd been suckered, I think. It just felt wrong. Byron Plus Global have got a big campaign online saying, this is not a scam. Every article you see about them is saying, this is not a scam. And there's so many Trustpilot reviews saying it's good. But if you look at all those Trustpilot reviews, every person who's reviewed Byron Plus Global, apart from me and maybe one other, has only ever done one review, and that's for Byron Plus Global. So they're either paid or friendly reviews promoting Byron Plus Global. So they're spending a lot of time trying to convince us, the consumer, that they're legitimate. I'm telling you, they're not. I've lost about $3,000. I am pissed off. I'm pissed off with myself, actually, for being a sucker. I should have got wise, but what I'm trying to say is I'm not stupid. I felt something was wrong with it. I felt there was a lot to win. When they put that money in your account and they're showing you that there's like a real big lump sum there that's kind of yours, really, but you just need to kind of keep participating, it's quite hard to kind of walk away at that point. And it's also quite hard to refuse or resist chucking a little bit more in that pot just because of the way they present it to you. And like I tested there, they have these live graphs that are showing performance of all the different trades, all the different companies. And I looked on another website and it really did match the positions and the prices of everything I could have time to check. And I thought, this is a legitimate software, Anyway, I won't waffle on anymore. Don't invest in Byron Plus Global. It's a scam.